Emotion, of course, is the heart of everything in your business. Let's look at this issue. This was nowhere 2 years ago. Who was talking about straws in the ocean? Now McDonald's is saying they are going to ban straws. There's a company called Iceland which only sells frozen food in Europe. They have decided to completely ban all plastic packaging from 24 months' time. This is absolutely huge. It happened mainly as a result of one program called Blue Planet, made by actually an extended member of my own family, which highlighted things like this. As a result, our world is changing. Emotions get triggered at speed. Yours is a very emotional business. I don't know anything more emotional than food or pets. We think of things like dirt. Even we're saying dirt is bad. No, now we're saying dirt is good. That dirt keeps your children healthy. In fact, if they don't live on a farm, you need to allow them to put their hands in the earth, because if they don't, they'll get asthma and other problems. We get issues over animal welfare. Is it right for a pet parent to feed their dog cream? Well, I don't know about cream, but these are issues to do with how we raise animals. A friend of mine was very badly hit by a dioxin scare. I don't know if you remember this story. There was someone did a crazy thing, maybe mafia or something. They took a lorry of fuel oil and old engine oil, and they emptied it in where the rapeseed oil should have gone to make chicken feed. Just one tanker. Unfortunately, it contaminated a large amount of feed, and suddenly, all over Europe, there is panic. There was significant contamination in Belgium, but not in Italy. But the media headlines were so strong in Italy that my Italian friend, who was a farmer, he had to kill, in 24 hours, 3.5 million of his chickens, simply because some media headline had created fear in Italy, and no one was buying chicken. The entire consumers stopped buying chicken, and there was nothing he could do. I tell you, he was very emotional. He had tears in his eyes as he told me how he had to kill all his chickens. You might think it's a bit stupid, they're all going to be eaten anyway, but he was upset that these birds were perfectly healthy. They've been vaccinated maybe by you guys. They've been cared for by the vet. They're doing fantastically well. Not a sick bird in the whole lot. And now they're all having to be thrown into a pit and burnt. Emotion. How does the farmer feel? I don't know who the customer is, actually. Because I meet so many different customers. I meet a farmer who, he's been on this land for hundreds of years. Actually, I'm a farmer. In my family, I have some land which has been in my family since 1612. Probably earlier, but the first house on the land was built in 1612. We only have 20 hectares, and it's too small, so I rent the farm out to other farmers who farm the land, and they put the cattle there. But I'm a farmer, so what kind of farmer am I? I'm a family orientation farmer, and I'm doing it for history reasons, for sentimental reasons. It doesn't make any money, okay? But there are lots of other farmers around. There are hobbyist farmers. There are people who made money in the city. They want to go and get a life. There are industrial farmers. They're doing it like it's a pension fund. You know, it's there's no land at all. It's all big areas like this with animals undercover. We have the strategist, the dedicated producer, the environmentalist who's doing it because they want to go green. We have the bio-farmer who's doing it to save the world. I think we need to know what kind of customer we have. In fact, that's where the magic is. The first piece of magic is we know who is this person, why are they farming, what is their passion. And it's the same with the owner of the dog or the cat. Who is the owner? Why do they have the animal? What is the history of the animal? Here's a true story. This man was dying. The medicine I used to do was caring people who are dying of cancer. Okay, so this story matters to me. So here is a sick man. He is maybe within hours of the end of his life. He has lost the will to live. He's not fighting anymore. I know that he will quickly go now. And then one day, someone managed to, he could hardly speak, he was unconscious, and no relatives, no family. Then someone discovered that he had a dog. They said, well, where is the dog? I said, nobody knows. Then they found that the dog had been sick before he got sick. And when the ambulance came to find him, his dog was not there because the dog was already in hospital. So his dog was in hospital, so he'd stopped eating. He had given up. He was grieving for his animal. And by the time people got to him, he was so sick he could not speak. The dog is in hospital. The dog stops eating because the dog is sick, has lost the will to live because separated from his parent. They found the dog. They brought the two together, and there were many tears. He started to eat. He gained strength. He came out of hospital. He completely recovered. He was resurrected. He was brought back from the dead by his animal. You know, I know as a doctor that if someone is old, a pet increases the life expectancy of that person. It gives them something to live for. I know that if you have a couple who love each other, have been married, I've been married for 40 years. I can imagine myself in this situation. If I get to the age of being married for 50 or 60 years and my wife dies, I hope I die quickly. I will probably will myself to die. Why would I want to? If I'm 98, I'm now on my own. And the main reason I've been keeping alive is to look after my wife. Maybe the reason she's been keeping herself going to look after me. Well, we see this happening between a dog and a pet and an owner. We see this in the funerals. We see a dog that will not be taken from the room where the person has died. We see a dog returning day after day to the site of a car accident and whining on the road for weeks. These are powerful bonds. And so when I say that pets, it's an emotional business, or farming, it's an emotional business, we say, yes, it's an emotional business. No. This is life and death. This is really important. So I would say, forget the word think customer. I say get close to the customer's heart. Get close to the customer's heart and to their passion. And then we will find a way to partner with them. I'll tell you something else extraordinary. If you have an animal that is so precious, someone might even mortgage a loan on their house to get treatment for that animal. These are important things.